Welcome back to Active Sports TV. It is your host, Active Man, coming to you with another edition of Fight Night, man. You already know I had to give you my post fight reaction, man, breakdown, and recap of what transpired over the weekend with these two heavyweight champions, Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois. It was a great night of heavyweight boxing. And, let's go ahead and break it on down. First, we want to go ahead and give you a little backstory, on the road that, these both of these fighters had, been having an uphill battle lately. Both been on, comeback tours. You know what I mean? Um, but on the tear as of late, Daniel Dubois, uh, with knocking out his last opponents, you know, him, restoring himself after, being embarrassed by Joe Joyce, man, and quitting, man, and that bout. Anthony Joshua obviously lost both of his fights to Alexander Usyk. You know what I mean? On top of that, a embarrassing loss to Andy Ruiz. So, you know, he redeemed himself against Ruiz. Um, Usyk wasn't able to, you know, get any redemption there. But, as of late, he's been, winning the last few bouts against the fighters that, he's, been getting in the ring with, captured the title, and, put that title on the line against Daniel Dubois, who also been handling his business, taking care of the fighters. It's been in his way. Now, let's go ahead and break it down, man. We not gonna spend too long on it. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua, man, gets up in this ring, man, with Daniel Dubois. I didn't do a pre-fight breakdown on this, and I also want to apologize to my subscribers and my fans. Like I said, we dealing with a little bit of malfunction issue with my monitor. Normally, I'll bring you a little bit of highlights, give you some visual content to what it is, and I'm putting out here on this podcast, on this YouTube. You know what I mean? And just giving you my overall recap. I like to give you, the live footage to support it. So we gonna work that out, y'all. Bear with me, man. Still stay in tune. Active ain't going backwards. We going forwards, man. Like I said, just little malfunction for a major comeback, man. We gonna come back bigger and better. You gonna see more things, man. We gonna get a lot more creative with the content. Bear with me, man. I'm doing what I do. You know, you will be entertained. You won't regret what you did. Now, breaking down the fight, getting back into the subject at hand, we already knew that Anthony Joshua was going to be the huge favorite going into this bout. Daniel Dubois, even though he's been winning as of late, he quit in the ring. I mean, he's been, even his promoter Eddie Hearn had, have his dad come ringside as a supporting, you know, a supporting member on the team to ignite something within Daniel Dubois for him to get into this, killer instinct and, be on this, KO on his mind type mentality. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Daniel Dubois beforehand has not had that mentality, that dog mentality to to grit it out and handle business. He has a few losses on his record that that are very questionable. But that was then. This is now, and Daniel Dubois came in the ring ready to handle business. Got in there with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, from my opinion, didn't look aggressive, didn't look like he was totally ready to, match that energy that Dubois was going to be bringing from the moment go. But nonetheless, this is a heavyweight bout. We can't out here have no excuses for nobody. When you're the favorite, the fans is coming out. You putting, you selling the most tickets. People are putting the most money on you. You know what I mean? You was in shape. He was in shape. There's no excuses. I mean, you can't. I hear people out here. After the fight, they want to question Dubois, say if he was on this. Like, man, this dude has been the same size he's been. He's been fighting the same way he's been fighting, and as of late before with Anthony Joshua, nobody had questioned a damn thing. Let's stop the conspiracies. Let's stop the conspiracies. Let's stop the conspiracy because when we was talking about what was transpiring with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, nobody wanted to hear that. Period, point blank. So I don't want to hear none of that. Anthony Joshua, this has happened to him before multiple times. This happened to be just, one of the worst outcomes. I'm going to break it down to you so I can bring you up to speed. But in round one, they immediately got to it. Daniel Dubois met him in the middle of the ring. Anthony Joshua tried to put a nice little uppercut in there, nice vicious uppercut to get Daniel Dubois' attention. After that point, Daniel Dubois went mad crazy in the ring, chasing Anthony Joshua from all four corners. In doing so, he was backing Anthony Joshua up. Anthony Joshua was backing up, not seeing that it was going to be an overhand. I believe right coming over the top, man, caught him right on the chin, put him down in the first round. Anthony Joshua gets up, very hurt, very noticeably hurt. Didn't know if he was going to continue to go forward. He looked like he was about to get put out in the first round. Let's just keep it G. We already know AJ was buckling. He didn't want to put them gloves up. Referee had to keep hollering commands. He got rocked. Boom. And that's what it is. Go to the second round. He regains faculties. Still getting hammered. Still getting bullied. Still getting pushed around the ring. Doing enough to not hit the canvas within that round. But third round come about. The same onslaught comes. Daniel Dubois is all over Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua pretty much has no comeback. Next thing you know, he gets clipped again, falls to the ground for the second time. Gets up, and this time, I guess it didn't have the effect it did in the first. The first one did, but Anthony Joshua then began to showboat, start to motion to the crowd that hey I'm just warming up. You know what I mean? I know this is looking bad from where y'all at, but I'm telling you in this ring, I'm about to restore motherfucking order. I'm about to get this dude to respect this power. So that's exactly what Anthony Joshua had intended to do. He went in there, started to try to establish a jab, start putting some nice 1-2s, and then sneaking in the uppercut, caught Daniel Dubois and hurt Daniel Dubois with a nice uppercut within the fifth round that made Daniel Dubois kind of back up and retreat. And then Anthony Joshua started coming with his own onslaught within from round four and then the beginning of round five. But then with round five, these guys start basically punching within each other. I mean, punching with each other. And in doing so, Anthony Joshua was trying to land his. Daniel Dubois was trying to land his, and it just happened to be that Daniel Dubois shit was more accurate and definitely more precise. And when it landed, AJ didn't have a chance. It landed flushed on the chin. It was a blind punch, very short punch, almost like a hook jab. You know what I mean? Very short. And like I said, simultaneously at the same time as he's trying to land his, Daniel Dubois landed his blindly. Anthony Joshua went face down on the canvas, to try to roll over, get up. Wasn't able to beat the 10 count. Was completely knocked out. No one had done Anthony Joshua like that up until this point. People are now questioning, is the heart of the lion even there? Does he have the will to want to come back and be champion? unified or undisputed. The road has been tough to try to be undisputed. As you know, I'm being a Deontay Wilder fan. We was clamoring for that fight when we could have had undisputed. Um, you know, 10 years ago, pretty much. You know what I mean? When Anthony Joshua had all three belts and Deontay Wilder was a the long standing WBC champ and defending his title consecutively for years and years on end. Um, we were clamoring for that fight. All the money in the world should have been behind that fight. All the fans would have been supporting that fight. But that's something that we will kind of always have to wish, you know, wonder and wish upon either to still happen or will be one of those fights where we have to just, have imaginary, opinion upon, who we thought would win if they were to fight in a prime, which is a shame, due to the fact that it was just behind two, real boneheaded as promoters, uh, basically trying to be greedy, and Eddie Hearn was the main corporate the main person to point out to that, along with Al Heyman. You know what I mean? It's a sad thing, bro. But now people was talking about, hey, what is my opinion on Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder now that they supposedly have the same amount of losses, and Anthony Joshua was knocked out, just like how Deontay Wilder was just recently knocked out by Zayn. And I say to that is, will it really matter at this point? I mean, we supposedly have already seen the greatest undisputed heavyweight fight of all time, right? Ain't they doing a rematch? Who talking about that? Who getting ready to buy a ticket for that? I digress. The fight, the potential fight of this era never happened. But we got Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. The rematch coming soon. So I'm gonna say I'm just as excited for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua as I am for Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Not that I don't believe that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua will be a great fight. I just know it won't be the fight that I know it would have been. And I ain't never been interested in Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. I don't like a drug cheat. I don't like a person that has tried to gypsy their way throughout their whole career. Alexander Usyk is one hell of a fighter, coming up from the cruiserweight division, doing it the honorable way, no dirt on his name. But a quack quacker, a duck artist. I don't support ducks. Part of the reason why I never supported Anthony Joshua and was a fan of Anthony Joshua. Loved him as a boxing fan, him, keeping the sport alive and, you know, drawing eyes to the sport. But on the merit of how he conduct his stuff as a champion, I don't agree with it. You know, he had a fantastic resume, still does, and still can add to it. But to my the original question that was asked to me by a good friend of mine and people that know of me, know me and know what I do. Um, I say, man, I will see. I want to see it just for the fact of the love of boxing, and I don't want that fight to not ever happen, and we not have a conclusion to it. But we all know it's not gonna be the same, or what it could have been, or what it would have been, and we need to blame both 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 promotional companies for robbing us and selling us short when it comes to that. Now, due to the fight, congratulations to Daniel Dubois for redeeming himself, for showing and proving to naysayers like me that you can overcome, your flaws. What you were back then is not what you are today. And he demonstrated that very well in the ring against Anthony Joshua, in Wembley on that, on that particular night. So, congratulations to Daniel Dubois, Anthony Joshua. Keep your head up. Whatever decision you make, it won't be a bad one. You had a fantastic career. You know what I mean? You never reached undisputed. You got damn near close with all three belts as a unified champion. You know, you and Deontay Wilder never could have had. Y'all never made that fight happen. I know y'all both gonna regret that. You know what I mean? If y'all don't, hopefully that'll be y'all. Farewell, fail, farewell fight. You know what I mean? And we get the conclusion that we all need. You know what I mean? To put a wrap on that era in this heavyweight division, and we'll call it what we call it 10 years from now. But at the end of the day, man, you know, a supporter of boxing and how you've brought the sport, the fans to the sport, and how you brought the eyes and those things that you have done had does very very for the most part is noticed by everybody, and you're gonna be a Hall of Famer, bro, without a doubt. So keep your head up, Anthony Joshua. Whoever turned on you, you know what I mean. Shame on them. They not real fans. Like you see me, I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. He just got knocked out by Zane. I don't give. It's still you the Bomb Squad. You know what I mean? So whoever's walking with Anthony Joshua, continue to rock with him. You never know, bro. You know what I mean? Like Daniel Dubois, what he was back then, he ain't today. These fighters can turn it around just like that. Don't know what may be the switch to turn it on. So on that note, man, we up out of here. This is just my post fight reaction recap to Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. Like I said, normally we're gonna bring you some live content go along with my opinion and my breakdown to what had take place during these current events. So bear with me, man. Subscribe, like. It is Active, your host. And hey, till next time, I hope y'all enjoyed yourself, enjoy y'all family, and enjoy what life has for y'all, man. Till next time, this is Active. We are out of here. Deuces. Fule. Peace, y'all. Out of here.